Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into a truly fascinating topic, the incredible capacity of your own mind, specifically how it can heal and transform.
That's right.
We're exploring the core idea behind the placebo effect, but with a really powerful twist.
Mhm.
The audacious question of whether you can actually harness it consciously,
Ah.
intentionally, in your own life.
Exactly. And our primary source for this deep dive is Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, You Are The Placebo. It's pretty groundbreaking.
It really is.
Our goal isn't just to skim the surface, you know.
Mhm.
We want to really extract the most potent insights, guide you through the science, yes, but also the practical how-to.
The steps you can actually take.
Right. How you can consciously use your belief for, well, profound personal change.
Mhm.
And honestly, prepare to uncover some surprising facts, things about the mind-body connection that might just shift how you see everything.
So here's the hook then. What if the most powerful tools for healing, for transformation, what if they aren't something external you need to find or buy? What if they're already inside you right now, just waiting to be consciously activated? Let's explore that. Okay, so to begin, the book really it really puts forward a challenge, doesn't it? If the placebo effect is real, if it can heal,
Which the science shows it can.
right, then can we use that power on purpose? What's the fundamental idea Dr. Dispenza introduces?
Well, the core premise is pretty straightforward, but also kind of radical. It's that people can experience significant healing, real change, purely through their belief and expectation.
Even with the sugar pill or something totally inactive.
Exactly, even when given an inert substance or treatment. And it's not just, a minor effect. He argues it's a profound demonstration of mind over matter.
He gives examples, right?
Oh yeah, compelling ones right at the start. Like Sarah, a woman dealing with chronic depression. Her symptoms dramatically improved, actually disappeared after she was unknowingly given sugar pills.
Instead of her usual meds.
Instead of antidepressants, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a powerful illustration of how the mind's expectation, all by itself, can directly influence the body's biochemistry.
That's astonishing. So if belief works so powerfully, even when we don't know it, that really begs the question, can we learn to direct that power consciously, intentionally?
That's the million-dollar question the book explores.
This sounds incredible, but it also makes you wonder about the mechanics, you know? How does a belief, a thought, actually translate into physical changes? What's the brain doing here?
It's truly remarkable. The connection is so direct. Our thoughts, just thoughts alone, can trigger the release of specific chemicals in the brain and body.
Chemicals that do things.
Chemicals that perfectly mimic the effects of actual drugs.
Yeah.
Think about studies with Parkinson's patients he mentions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Those given placebos, just believing they got medication, actually started producing their own dopamine in the brain.
Wow.
Yeah. Which significantly reduced their tremors, all without any actual Parkinson's medication. Dispenza's point is that the brain doesn't always distinguish clearly between what's happening out there and what you're vividly imagining or strongly believing.
So belief literally becomes biology.
Belief becomes biology. That's the phrase he uses. It's powerful.
So it's definitely not just all in your head then. It's manifesting physically.
Yeah.
How far does this influence go? Does it affect the rest of the body too?
Oh, absolutely. The influence is systemic. It's not just the brain. Placebos have been shown to impact, well, almost everything. Immune response, hormonal output, even how we perceive pain.
Pain perception too.
Definitely. A really striking example he gives is about patients with chronic knee arthritis. They underwent what's called sham surgery.
Sham surgery, what's that?
Basically, they were prepped for surgery, incisions were made, the whole theater, but no actual repair was done inside the knee.
Seriously?
Seriously. But here's the kicker. Their pain levels improved just as much as the patients who received the real corrective surgery.
That's incredible. So their belief that they had the surgery was enough.
It points strongly in that direction. It's a powerful testament to how deeply our expectation and belief can reprogram our physical state, totally independent of a physical intervention.
Right, this is where it gets really transformative for me. If our thoughts can literally affect our bodies like that, does that mean we can intentionally, rewire our own brains? Can we change who we are on a fundamental level?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that brings us straight to neuroplasticity.
Ah, neuroplasticity, the brain changing itself.
Exactly. The brain's amazing ability to reorganize itself, to form new neural connections, not just in childhood, but throughout our lives. Dispenza explains that when you repeatedly focus on specific thoughts, certain intentions, You are quite literally reprogramming both your brain and your body.
So it's like mental practice.
It is mental practice.
Yeah.
Think about that study he cites where people just imagine practicing piano scales. They didn't touch a piano.
Mhm.
Brain scans show they developed the exact same neural changes in the areas controlling finger movements as the people who physically practiced every day.
No way, just from imagining it.
Just from imagining it, it highlights how incredibly effective mental rehearsal is, not just for skills, but for changing our very neurological architecture.
And what about suggestibility? How does being, open to new ideas fit into this? Does that amplify the effect?
Suggestibility is absolutely key. It basically determines how readily your mind accepts new information, new instructions, new beliefs.
So more suggestible people respond better to placebos.
Generally, yes. They tend to be far more responsive. Dispenza shares these powerful examples, like hypnotized patients undergoing surgery
Without anesthesia.
without anesthesia and reporting no pain. It demonstrates how a deep state of suggestibility can actually override intense physical sensations.
How does that work? How do you become more suggestible?
Well, he explains that when your brain shifts gears, basically, when you move from those busy analytical beta brain waves down into slower alpha or even theta waves, the states you often reach in meditation or deep relaxation,
Oh.
you become incredibly receptive. It's like the critical analytical part of your conscious mind takes a step back.
Lowering the filter.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Lowering the critical filter, allowing near positive beliefs and suggestions to be absorbed much more deeply, so you can intentionally cultivate that state.
This deep dive is certainly pushing some boundaries. The book talks about attaining the quantum mind. That sounds pretty out there. What does that actually mean for influencing our reality?
Yeah, he uses concepts from quantum physics, but more as a powerful metaphor, really.
Okay, a metaphor. How?
Well, you know how in quantum physics, particles exist as a wave of possibilities until an observer kind of collapses them into one specific reality.
Right, the observer effect.
Exactly. Dispenza applies this idea to us, suggesting that we, as the observers of our own lives, don't have to be defined or limited by our past experiences or our current state.
So we can choose a different reality.
By consciously changing our thoughts and, crucially, our emotions, we can, in a sense, select or collapse a new desired future from that field of infinite possibilities. He tells this amazing story.
Another case study.
Yeah, about a man who had cancer. Every day, he visualized his tumor shrinking while intensely feeling gratitude, like overwhelming gratitude for his future health. Doctors were absolutely stunned when his scans later showed the tumor had completely vanished. It underscores this idea that our internal state, our thoughts and feelings, can genuinely influence external physical outcomes.
That's just, wow, a profound concept. But okay, if our minds are that powerful, why do so many of us feel stuck? Stuck in negative patterns, anxiety, stress?
That's a critical point you raise.
Because it's not just the mind, is it? It feels like our bodies get stuck too, like they remember old emotions.
We've absolutely hit on it. The body often becomes, well, almost biologically addicted to familiar emotional patterns.
Addicted to stress.
Addicted to the biochemistry of stress or fear or anger. Yeah. These emotions trigger specific chemical cocktails that the body actually learns to crave, to expect. It becomes the baseline state.
So just changing your thoughts isn't enough.
Not always. To truly change, Dispenza argues, you often have to actively recondition the body. Teach it, literally, to live in new elevated emotional states. Peace, joy, gratitude.
How do you do that?
It's about breaking the habit of being your old self, consciously choosing a new emotional response. He uses Lisa's story, someone struggling with severe PTSD.
Okay.
Through consistent meditation and really actively cultivating feelings of peace and joy within her body, she essentially reconditioned herself. She broke the body's addiction to the trauma chemicals, and her anxiety symptoms faded away.
She retrained her body's emotional state.
Exactly. Broke the biochemical habit.
So these aren't just theories or minor shifts we're talking about. The book, as you said, has these real-life stories. Does this mind over matter stuff genuinely work for, like, serious illnesses?
It absolutely does, according to the cases presented. And Dispenza is careful to provide documented examples. We see these compelling stories of people healing from serious, sometimes long-term conditions, purely through this kind of consistent mental practice and belief shifting.
Can you share another example?
Sure. There's a powerful one about a woman diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Pretty debilitating condition. She committed fully to daily meditation, really focused on consciously shifting her beliefs about her body, about her potential for healing, and intensely visualizing herself as healthy and whole.
And what happened?
Within months, the reports say she was walking unassisted again. She was able to return to work. It defied the typical medical prognosis for her condition.
That's incredible.
And Dispenza presents these not as, one-off miracles, but as repeatable demonstrations, examples of the mind's profound healing capacity when properly directed.
Okay, so bringing this all together, what does this mean for, for you listening right now? How can you start to tap into this incredible power within?
Well, the foundational practice Dr. Dispenza emphasizes over and over again is meditation.
Meditation is the key.
It's the primary tool he recommends to activate this internal placebo effect. Its main job is to calm that overactive, analytical, conscious mind, quiet the body's stress responses, and create a state of internal coherence, a state that prepares you for real change.
Just calming down isn't enough, though, right?
No, it's the launching pad. The real keys to transformation, he argues, are combining a very clear intention, knowing exactly what you want to create, with an elevated emotion.
Elevated emotion, like what?
Like love, joy, inspiration, or especially gratitude. Feeling thankful for the desired outcome before it happens. He shares John's experience.
Another story.
Yeah, John consistently meditated, visualizing a healthier version of himself. But crucially, he cultivated this feeling of immense gratitude, as if it had already happened.
And the result?
Within weeks, John reported significantly reduced blood pressure, more energy, tangible changes linked to that practice of intention plus emotion.
Okay, this leads to maybe the most practical question. How do you actually change those deep beliefs, the ones that feel so ingrained, the limiting ones holding you back?
Right. It's not always easy. It's a process. But fundamentally, it involves, first, becoming aware of those limiting beliefs. You have to see them clearly.
Identify the enemy, so to speak.
Kind of, yeah. Acknowledge their hold on you. And then you actively work to dismantle them. Through specific meditation techniques outlined in the book, you learn to detach from your old self.
The old self.
Yeah, that collection of familiar thoughts, programmed emotions, and habitual patterns that define your current reality, especially the parts you want to change.
And then what?
And then you intentionally create a new internal reality, one that's aligned with your desired healing or goals. You do this through clear intention and, again, feeling the emotions of that new reality.
Like Maria's story.
Exactly. Maria's story is a great example. She had this deep belief that she was destined for illness, just like her parents. It was almost like a script she was living out.
Okay.
Through consistent meditation, focusing on a different future, actively crafting a new self-perception of health and vitality, her autoimmune condition reportedly saw remarkable improvement.
So what are the basic steps in the meditation he describes?
He outlines detailed steps, but basically it boils down to, first, become conscious. Really notice the limiting thoughts and emotional patterns of your current self without judgment. Just observe.
Step 1, awareness.
Right. Step 2, surrender. Consciously decide you no longer want to be that old self and release those old emotional patterns. It's almost like detoxing from them emotionally.
Letting go.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And step 3, create. Actively create and feel the reality of your new self. Use focused intention and generate those elevated emotions, gratitude, joy, love, connected to your desired future.
And consistency is key.
Consistency is everything. The daily practice, like with the cancer patient who saw dramatic tumor reduction, that's what reinforces the new neural pathways and reconditions the body. It's what leads to tangible, measurable change over time.
Wow. What an absolutely eye-opening deep dive this has been. We've really unpacked how belief isn't just, a fleeting thought.
Not at all.
It's a dynamic force, something that can literally reshape your brain, your body, and lead to these profound, real-world transformations.
Absolutely. And the ultimate takeaway, the core message really is that this incredible power to change, to heal, it genuinely resides within your beliefs and your emotional state right now.
So you don't need something external.
You don't necessarily need external factors to kickstart change or healing. You already possess the intrinsic tools. Dr. Dispenza himself is kind of the prime example, isn't he?
His own recovery.
Yeah, recovering from that severe spinal injury years ago without the recommended surgery, purely through his own intensive mental practice. Belief isn't just something passive you have. It's an active force, something you can consciously cultivate and direct.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. What if the biggest limiting factor in your life isn't your job or your finances or your circumstances? What if it's simply an old belief, a story you're unconsciously holding on to, telling yourself day after day?